Hey everybody, it's Cherry again. This is a video from Friday the God, I can't remember the date. Friday the 12th of January 2018, doing the mission, the in-game co-op mission, Final Frontier, as a 7-man division. This one is particularly good. It was our third attempt at the 5-star. Sorry, a third time of the 5-star, and I think it's quite a good way of watching the game being played. Players involved are myself, Den Hednig, Nylan, Azrael, Sadler and Bucket, also known as RG, Slive and Sigma. As you can see, the ship choices we've taken are pretty much premium to death, apart from Pensacola. Now, I wanted to do this video for a couple of reasons. We're coming up to our second, what we call it, the second birthday for BAD-Armada. The reason we picked March for our birthday, last March we met up at the HMS Belfast, a large group of us, for a bit of fun and games and lots of drinking at the HMS Belfast, which is good fun for our first anniversary. The reason we picked March as our anniversary was it was the date we finally bought our own Teamspeak. From September 2015 through to March 2016, we were using the old Teamspeak from the old British Army Division Tanks Clan. That folded finally March 2016. So at that point we had to find a new home. At that point we funded, at the time it was a 50-slot server, which was quite a big step to take. You know, we were going into our own server. BAD-Armada itself has been around since just before the game went live. So if you were really being pedantic about it, then September this year would be our third anniversary, but we're working with March because it seemed like a nice spot to put for our birthday. So March, BAD-Armada is 2 years old, as it is in its current form. Over the last year, we've added BAD-B, which gave us the potential at the time of a potential 90 members. We now have the situation with clans in game where BAD-A are currently sitting with 40 slots, very, very close to working on our 50-slot availability. BAD-F is sitting on 40 slots, almost full. We're both in the high 30s. BAD-B is on the back burner a little bit, until we can find someone willing to take it over and run it. It's more of an academy or a spot to place people who are not what's the word for it, au fait with Teamspeak. You know, if people don't really want to muck around on Teamspeak, or they're very new players and just want a gentle involvement, then BAD-B's there as an option. As part of the celebrations in April, it's a little later than it would be, we've done it put on purpose for after Easter. The clan is actually aiming on meeting up at the Portsmouth Naval Dockyards to have a mooch around some old ships, chew the fat, brag about game stuff, drink lots, and just generally have a nice time. So if any of the clan members are interested in that, speak to Neil Myatt. He's organising hotels and stuff. It is the 21st and 22nd of, it's the weekend of the 21st of April, which is the first weekend after Easter, and we've gone with that route because it means that the stuff like hotels are cheaper because the school holidays are over. The YouTube channel's been a mixed blessing. There's plenty of content on here. We just need to drive more people to watch the videos and more people to upload them, because I'm sure everybody and their dog is getting fed up with me. We've got perfect situations for any of the members to either forward replays onto myself or one of the other guys, or to do it themselves and upload it themselves. We stream relatively regularly. There's been a short break recently for myself due to internet problems, which my router broke, meant that my 24 meg upload speed became 1.5, which was impossible to stream or do anything with. Again, as part of the overall holiday thing, the birthday thing, I thought I'd try something different with YouTube, and this is for all the existing subscribers and anybody that add on. So any of you BAD members that haven't subscribed, do so. With a little bit of help from XSplit. I use XSplit Gamecaster and Broadcaster for my recording. So Gamecaster is very good for recording replays like this. It's very simple, one button. Just press F11 and it records it to whatever settings you saved it at. And it's very, very idiot proof. Also remarkably light on the resources. For my streaming, I use XSplit Broadcaster, which is a little more complex because obviously there's a lot more involved. Anybody that's seen my stream, it can be a bit busy because when I first set it up, I wanted as much information on there as possible. I am in the process of rerouting that one at some point. But as part of the trying to get this whole thing moving a little bit, I've spoken to XSplit, and I have been given a big discount on some 12-month licenses for XSplit Premium, which basically gives you full unfettered access to both XSplit Gamecaster and XSplit Broadcaster. Now, if you use the free package of either of those, which I highly recommend to anybody that's interested in recording video gameplay or streaming, the only limitation with the free packages are they limited to 720p. Now, for a lot of people, that's fine. Myself, I like 1080 and 1440. So for me, it was always a premium option. Just pay a certain amount every month and you rock and roll. Now, basically, the plan of action here is once we hit 150 subscribers, now we're currently, as I make this video, on 116. I'm going to release 5 12-month licenses, which are about, I think it works out $60 for the year. So it's a little something. And that allows you full unfettered access to both XSplit Broadcaster and Gamecaster. If, I use this big word, if and when we hit 200 subscribers, I'll then release a further 5 randomly to people. I'll basically going to use a old tried and trusted method of basically giving every subscriber a number and then physically pulling it out of a hat on a piece of paper. I think it makes more sense. At some point I might even try and work out how to get my erstwhile webcam to work and maybe do it on webcam. Back to my webcam. I don't know who really knows this, but I don't actually own a webcam. I have camera running sometimes on my streams. It is, shall we say, since I got rid of my car, I had a dash cam available, and I've actually bodged the dash cam to become a webcam. Prior to that, I was using an old Sony iToy as a webcam. I don't know why I've never got around to buying a webcam. I think the problem is for what I want, which is like 60 FPS, 1080p, they're actually remarkably expensive unless you are willing to put up with really, really poor quality. And as it is, the dash cam kind of works. Yeah, a little bit too wide angle, a little bit too frog eye. But it's hey, it works. But as I say, 150 subs. As soon as we hit that marker, what I can do is I can release 5 license keys for 12 months full subscription to the full XSplit Premium, which basically means that anybody that does win that is then in a situation where they've got the right software to be able to start playing around with recording gameplay and even streaming. And obviously any of the BAD members that want to stream or want to upload to YouTube on the BAD-Armada Warships channel, more than welcome. All I ask you to do is just clear the content with myself prior, just so there's nothing, no racial slurs, no politics, the rules in Teamspeak, no politics, the whole thing. Just make sure it meets any of the criteria for YouTube so we don't get any strikes. In this game you're watching at the moment, Azrael managed to die in his Atlanta at the start, killed by the Nicholas. The utter abuse in TS was hilarious. The fact that the guy actually died to a tier 5, but it's one of those things that happens. This particular game mode for co-op is probably one of the better of these missions. Back to BAD-Armada. The Teamspeak is up for renewal in March, as I said. We're pretty much 90% funded on that through member donations. We run a 12-month subscription each year. There's 150 slots now. We have a very, very nice community of players. The guys are, without a doubt, probably the nicest bunch I've ever had the pleasure to play games with. Everybody's very supportive of each other. You know, we've all got issues of some description, and it is nice to always have friends that you can fall back on and rely on. The gameplay is pretty hilarious. We took part in clan battles with mixed results. BAD-A topped out. Our final top position was in the playoffs for the Typhoon, and we basically failed dismally at the playoffs and then gradually fell back through the leagues back to the Storm League. I think we ended up halfway up the Storm League. BAD-F not even attempting to do any restrictions or limitations, didn't finish in the end far away from BAD-A, so that's all kudos to BAD-F. BAD-F's had a major shake-up over the last year. I've really basically handed over control to Neil Mayat and Josie Wales because it needed someone dedicated to run it. It was pointless having the stand-ins that we always had. Someone, oh, I'll do it because I have to. We've got two guys there that actually want to run BAD-F and they enjoy it, and BAD-F's going from strength to strength. Current member count, BAD-A is on 36, BAD-F is I think on 36 or 37, and BAD-F's currently on 17, but we are trying to pull some of our older players back in that accidentally got removed. So if you're any of those guys that got removed from BAD-F, it is the place where I've parked my friends that may be away from the game for a little while or are playing less. But we did have an overzealous recruiter that kicked a lot of long-term members out. You know who you are, you've had your invites sent out. Accept the invites. No one ever wanted you to be gone. Plans for the upcoming year: get BAD-F and BAD-B both up to their 50 slots and get them filled in. Again, we are going to stick with the tried and trusted rule of stats don't count. We've had a couple of guys join us over the last year. I will mark out ARC 2912 for this one, who statistically no clan in their right mind would take. Because if you looked at his stats with the number of games, everybody would laugh. He still takes an awful lot of abuse in game. This annoys me. He takes an awful lot of abuse in games from random players because his stats for the volume of games are pretty bad. But like everybody else, like the rest of us, he spent an awful lot of time playing solo and grinding ships and learning the game. And basically, during clan battles, he turned out to be one of the strongest players we had at tier 10 because his tier 10 stats are a complete reversal of the rest of the stats in the game. So, as I said, we're not ever going to go the elitist route of, oh, you've got to have 10,000 games, 60% win rate, X numbers that mean nothing. If you're a nice person, you fit in the equation, you've got a place in BAD-A. I really, really don't ever want that to change. Particular call out to the rest of the BAD-A and BAD-F leadership. As I said, Neil Mayat 10 and Josie Wells have taken the mantle at BAD-F. Patatis has taken a leadership role there. The usual suspects for BAD-A hasn't really changed. We did add Firestrike into a DC role. Because he was by far and away our most successful, prolific, useful field commander for clan battles, and we'd be mad if we didn't put him in charge of something. So yes, that's me rambling on for a while. I could moan about the last year in World of Warships. I could complain about the carriers. I could complain about some of the meta changes, some of the choices Wargaming have made on the ships. But to be honest with you, it's pointless. The game is the game. It is what it is. We all complain about certain aspects. We complain when we're in a battleship that, oh, those damn cruisers, they're HE spamming us, they can kill us, they can burn us, oh, woe is me. We can whine whilst we're in cruisers because, oh, woe is me, that battleship just one-shotted me, blah, blah, blah. We can whine in battleships, oh, those destroyers, they can torp us, they can burn us from smoke, blah, 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 blah. Destroyers can complain, oh, battleships can one-shot us with AP. Everybody hates carriers. So, you know, that's fair. Whereas that's the one thing that does, you know, unite everybody. The world in a dog hates carriers. However, there's nothing you can really do about that because they've got such a huge place in this game that you just whinge about it. So, anybody that's not a member of the clan that wants to come and play Silly Beggars, everybody's always welcome in our TS. Come and say hello, come and play with the guys, stuff like that. There's never a pressure to join. We don't say, oh, you've got to be a member to join our TS. Put it in the TS, have a play with the guys. If you want to join, you join. If you don't, you don't. We've got plenty of people from other clans that come into the TS and just play for a laugh. There's no pressure whatsoever. However, we are always recruiting. And that is pretty much my... I'm going to use the word rant. Oh, yes, right. Conversation last night. It's a great laugh. So, live streaming last night, and it became painfully obvious that when myself and Nyland play together, it is like a version of Hinge and Bracket. By God, can we bitch at each other for our country? I bitch about him, he bitches at me. So basically, I want a feedback on whether or not we should run a weekly show, the Cherry and Nyland Hinge and Bracket-esque kind of show, where we just bitch at each other. But then saying that anybody just watching the live stream will just see us bitching constantly at one another. I want to get more people involved in the clan training, clan battles. If we're going to try and extend ourselves a bit on clan battles on the next season, we really need to get a little bit more organised. You know, considering we're a completely disorganised bunch of lunatics, to actually get as far as we got in clan battles was a miracle. Obviously, the big, huge, you know, successful clans, the dare I say it, the Omnis, etc., they drill constantly. You know, they play, drill, they know exactly their positions. They're told which ships they have to have. They're told which modules they have to have. You know, which skills. I don't think we can ever go that route because, frankly, no one will put up with it. But what we will need to start doing is more training. Now, with the onset of 070, when Wargaming finally unlocked the training rooms properly, without having to spend the first half an hour of every training session getting people organised so they've actually got their training rooms enabled, that should make life a lot easier. And my plan for the upcoming year is, on a Saturday, take 2 hours out and actually spend 2 hours clan training. So for that, we're also looking for external clans to come and practice with us. MDiv have mentioned it before. A couple of the other clans have mentioned it, that they'll get involved. We've also got the BAD-A thing, which I'm toying with the idea of making into a form of league. So basically, we'll have at the annual meet-up, we have a kind of almost like a shield, a cup for like the Ashes. You know, the one that Australia accidentally won this year. So we will do something with that. Now, as you can see from this game that's been barreling on in the background, we lost 2 cruisers, but we have managed to basically annihilate everything, which is not surprising because it's a co-op. This actually had it had no twist in the tail of this one. This was absolutely annihilated. We've played this a few times now. This is basically just to help the last couple of guys get their 5 stars. Once you've done this a couple of times, it just becomes a very good team drill.